collected over time in these hiking trails, and the most recent ones that I've gotten would be like this one. And on one of these hiking trails, during this whole epidemic virus thing, they kicked me out of one of these hiking trails, and they used that as an excuse to tell me that I couldn't be up there. But now I'm starting to realize why, and it's pretty interesting. I don't really want to say much, I just want to show y'all. These are the ones that I just recently found. These, this is one that was gifted to me. I just wanted to show. Put it on the side because these are really, they're so small and delicate. This is another one. And look at how, like, it looks so rich right here. Now, you put these in water, like in a fish tank, it gives oxygen to the water, but it's just this part that's so beautiful and interesting to me.
You're seeing very abundant organisms. So they're microscopic organisms. They're single-celled. They're called dinoflagellates. They're common members of the coastal plankton community. They're become really abundant during these events. So during the day, the water is discolored and can look kind of reddish or brownish, hence the term red tide, because of the discolor of the water, because there's so many organisms present. And then at night, if they're bioluminescent, you get these incredible, beautiful displays of bioluminescence. In nature, the bioluminescence is used as a predator avoidance behavior. In the case where they're grabbed by a predator, then the force of the grabbing will stimulate them to produce flashes of light. And that light acts to scare or startle the predator. So whether that force is produced by a predator grabbing them or a wave breaking, it triggers the light.
This is the reason why they want you to stay in. They knew that Mothership Earth was going to have this intensifying enrichment in nutrients, not only in the gamma rays from the sun, but from the minerals, what's in the rocks, the oxygen that the ocean just absorbed, that it can provide in through the sand and in through the minerals and everything. And this is the reason why they want you to stay in. Mothership Earth figured out a way to counterattack back what's being done to her, and by us being out there, we will absorb the same thing and have the same, you could say, biometric light that this ocean is also showing. And it happens to be in Baja California. So it just shows you the political ideas, that how they drag California so much down by being a liberal state. It does not take away that the natural inhabitants that are supposed to be there is what is making it thrive, and the sun knows that, and it provides the gamma rays for those people in order to not get sick. So no matter how many technologies the devil comes up with so that our brothers and sisters can get sick in these sanctuary cities, Mothership Earth will always find a way to protect them. And this is a clear example of why they want you to stay in. They don't want you to come out and find these things. Lucky for me, I really have been wanting to show you guys these new hiking trails that I found. And I got kicked out of one of them. And after that happened, I realized why they did it. They know the rocks and minerals up there are different during this time of month. So, because I've been to these hiking trails before and that has never happened. And now I understand that they're saying it's because of the virus, but that's just an excuse because I already saw the rocks and everything I got from up there. So it's very interesting to see this video, and I made a clear connection into why they kicked me out of my hiking trail. But it was okay because I found new ones and better ones. And let's continue.
So we can't predict when they're going to occur or how long they'll last, but we know that they've been going on for a while, sampling and monitoring these red tide events since 1900. So since then, there's been at least a couple of dozen major events. And this one is pretty spectacular. It extends from Baja California all the way up into the Los Angeles region. There are red tide events in other parts of the world that are harmful in that the organisms contain compounds that can act as a toxin. So fortunately, the organisms that are abundant here in Southern California are not toxic. And then it's your personal choice if you actually want to go in and surf in it or swim in it.
When I went up in those hiking trails, I had to make a choice whether I wanted to bring my phone and show others or not take it at all so I can keep going and keep it to myself. And that's what I did. And I went into some of those waters and it was gorgeous. And I'm blushing. Okay, y'all, I moved from spots. My parrot, every time he hears me speaking, he thinks I'm talking to him. And he wasn't going to let me speak calmly, so I wanted to show you guys the rest of the rocks that I found during these times of the virus, and they're very interesting rocks. I had a feeling that Mothership Earth finds a way to counterattack back, and the way that it does so is by sending nutrients not just to plants but to ourselves as well. And that's another reason they want us to stay in. And by looking at these rocks, it's a reflection of what's out there and what you're missing out on. Whenever I have a chance to find one of these hiking trails, I don't bring my phone because that's how precious it is to find an area like this. I found tadpoles. That's where I found my butterfly. And as you can see, this rock here is very interesting because look at the gloss that it has. And it's been laying here and it gives it gloss to the rocks around. But, so let me show you this one. I'm not going to say much now, I'm just going to show. Now this is I'll show you, this is a shungite tile that I ordered, and I just have here, this is my little desk, and just put my hand here whenever I want to ground myself, come home. Feels good. But yes, back to the rocks that I found that day, and I got kicked out of this hiking trail, and I was able to keep these rocks, and they're so gorgeous. The one I was showing earlier was this one. These kind of rocks regulate the pH levels in water. But this is a small one, so it could be just for like a small tank for like a one fish. But so interesting right here. I mean, when I found it, it was like this. Now, this rock I really like. I'm gonna use it to shower with. It feels a little rough right here, but with a, feels kind of like charcoal, like volcanic rock, and it feels rough, and but it's soft right here. So I wanted to look for a rock that I can shower with. Another one. So yeah, guys, go out there as much as you guys can. Missing out on a lot of beautiful things. Oh, I didn't get to lift this one up. I talked about it, but I didn't actually show it. It's a heavy one.